Sorry about that, cut out. So basically, back to the reading. So what we're actually doing next is looking at another card. And so I'm having problems, again, phone the memory, and it's saying memory full, and it's a brand new phone, and the phone's empty. So let's carry on with this reading, shall we? So I'm going to pull one more card on this. And your life is a canvas. You're the artist, the manifester, and creative accountability. Now that is quite important, considering what we were talking about, taking creative accountability for mistakes made, taking creative accountability for dreams created. We are our lives itself, and the way we design things as artists, as practitioners, as mediums, we create in terms of our life as a canvas. So it is all aligning in terms of this reading, and about how important right now in terms of healing your artistry work is important. You know, your creative hobbies, creative endeavors and hobbies, you know, that can help with mental health in itself. So it's literally about manifesting what we create. I think with the next card, I'm going to go with some crystal healing cards. So I've got these new crystal healing cards with offers a little bit of crystal healing and guidance and abundance for in terms of this healing reading that we're doing for many. So I'm just going to pull a few cards on this new set, and we'll go from that. But this is a generalized reading. Remember, just take what resonates. You know, as I said yesterday, one thing might suit somebody else's needs, and well, energy-wise, it's a bit shaken at the moment for some reason. But take what resonates and leave what doesn't resonate, you know. Okay, we've got two here. So, the first card, card number 1, and it is about transcendence. It is your crown chakra and your moonstone. Your crystal healing for this one is moonstone. So if you look at the card, it is pretty basic cards, but it has a particular meaning to it, and it's about using crystals and healing stones around you to aid you through life. And you know, we are energetically transcending all the hurts and painful energies out, transmuting that out, healing it through our own bodily systems, and then transcending it out to others to help elevate people and planet. And the stone for that, it is recommended today, which connects to your crown chakra. So crown chakra will need a little bit of work on right now, and that's how we receive the information through the universe, through our top of our heads, and our healing all comes through the crown chakra, which is here. So the stone card, and the precious stone for that is actually a moonstone. I believe that is what this is. I believe. Don't quote me. I may have got it wrong. I'm not 100% on all crystals either. You know, I learn as I go along as well. And, but yeah, so it is about working on your crown chakra right now. Now remember, it's the energy card number 1. It is a little tiny number 1 in the top, which stands for the beginning, new beginnings. Beginning card, the beginning universal number 1. It's not just about the ones and zeros and what order they're in. It is literally about the new beginnings in the numeric number 1 card. And I'm going to go with that card as it wanted to jump out. So this one is Labradorite, and this is card number 21, which breaks down to a 3, and it is your south node. Now, someone, you know, recently said about North Node. Well, I'm the South Node. So, you know, in terms of where he lives, and I live down south where I am. But if you flip it the other way around, we're each other's north and south. It's the magnetic poles. So it's about placing healthy boundaries within yourself and around you for others. as this is a twin flame card, as it's connecting to South Node and North Node, it is about placing healthy boundaries between yourself and your twin flame. Sometimes your twin flame can go too far. You know, I know plenty of occasions my twin flame has gone way too far with things energetically, you know, and caused upset and made me cry, and, you know, and there are other times when he's been beautifully loving, and, you know, I couldn't appreciate him anymore. But it's about placing healthy boundaries with yourself and with others around you. You can't grow, heal and learn if you're letting people walk all over you. And that's something that I had to have as a life lesson, to not let everybody else walk all over me and treat me like dirt. So having healthy, setting healthy boundaries for yourself in terms of what you'll allow and what you won't allow, that's a great healthy boundary to place, you know. And once you put that in place, don't let them step over it. And if they step on the boundaries, let them know. That's what I'm doing, you know. So go with them cards. And labradorite, yeah, so is one of the healing crystals for the day. I'm going to leave that one for now because I don't feel anything else goes with that. I am going to pull quickly a healing colour of the day, as we're quite enjoying these cards over here. And then we're going to go to some Avalon mailing cards in terms of Shrewsbury and some little secrets that some may not know and some may know. But this, we're going to go with one colour healing card, and then we're going to go with some Avalon cards, some flower cards, and I'll close the reading there from there on in, because I'm trying to stick to an hour reading at the moment for many, you know. I'm trying to, in between having problems with my mobile, which means I've got to sit and go through all the settings. Other readers I noticed are getting that as well, so I'm wondering if it's because it's an important reading, you know, energetically wise, someone is trying to stop this reading being produced. The amount of times, you know, where I've gone to record readings on Instagram, let's say posting it on Instagram, someone's hacked my account and cut my my feed, and having control over how much of my readings I'm allowed to give out. You know, I have noticed these things, you know, when universal energy is like, nope, or sabotage, should I say. Dark energy likes to sabotage. So that one. Oh, we've got two today. So one healing colour for today, emerald. Now it's an earthly colour. It's a grounding, beautiful grounding colour. My the colour of my eyes, when I cry, my eyes change colour and they go emerald green. It is a great card for grounding and healing, and it is about calming your mind and your soul and your body. So perfect for reading and healing. You know, most of my cards readings are going to be about healing unless I state otherwise. So the angel number for that is angelic number 3. So it's about the overall design of the planet as well. I'm getting with this particular card, and it's about helping the earth heal. I'm guessing with this card as well. So also a great healing chakra card. And in connection to that, a second card of the day, and actually my favourite flowers, lilacs. I love, we used to have lilac trees in Mum and Dad's house, and I used to climb them to rescue cats, and I love the smell of purple lilacs. So the colour today, you know, for a healing colour is mauve, and one of my favourite colours too. The angelic number of this, 43, which breaks out into a 7, which means angelic number 7, you're on the correct path for you. And it's about enjoy clear hearing. So it's clairsentience, clear hearing. Clairaudience, sorry, not clairsentience. Clairsentience, clear feeling. Clairaudience is clear hearing. So it's about listening to your spirit guides. Listening to your own inner guidance system, to your intuition, trusting your intuition when it comes to healing situations, and it is also your crown chakra as well, a colour, well, it's more like an ultraviolet crown chakra, but wearing lots of mauves, purples, greens, energetically cleansing as well. So for the planet, maybe plant some mauve plants in the garden, and yeah, just see what else, if I get anything else on this card. So listening to your spirit guides, wearing the colour mauve, also a colour of your chakras, you know, your crown and third eye, the purples and the ultraviolet and the violet colours. And that's it. Sorry, I'm just getting an image my guides are showing me of me climbing a tree when I was a kid. I don't need that right now. I know what I was like, forever getting in trouble for climbing trees and rescuing kitty cats. So as kittens when they stuck up the trees. So, but lilacs to me has a special meaning of my mum and dad's growing up when we first moved. So, yeah, so we'll go with that. Now, the next card I'm going to do, I'm going to throw in some Avalon and Merlin cards. Now, these are Avalonian cards, and basically something, a little special something my guide showed me today. So, as you might remember from other readings, my guides, you know, as we know a secret within Shrewsbury, we are highly, you know, it is a royal family town. It is owned by the royal family, this town, and we have connections to Avalon and King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. You know, the reputable Round Table is based in Shrewsbury. We also have Excalibur, and obviously, you know, I've joked around and saying, well, I am Excalibur, but literally I am a connection to my past life, and remembering a certain someone I was in a past life, and my friends and I were trying to connect in with that particular past and trying to remember why we remember in the medieval times and before that living in a castle. Well, you can pretty much figure out what's coming next. So, as my guides pointed out today, there is something important in terms of the things that, you know, we have in Shrewsbury, the Knights. We reputably do have the Holy Grail as well within Shrewsbury. I have a feeling I know where that is. So I'm going to take my friend out that way to show her in the coming weeks and months. And she's a Leo, by the way. So please stop reading my friends out there. So my guides gave me something about a past life. And I was drawn to, obviously, because we're a royal town, and connections to Arthur, Merlin, the Knights of the Round Table, and who I was in a past life. And yes, I was a queen, to give you a little indication. So that's why I joked, in this life I become Excalibur, and I create a little bit more equality for people and planet, people in particular. So I'm going to go with the Avalon cards in terms of soul journey and where we're up to in terms of being in Shrewsbury and knowing the rich history that Shrewsbury has with kings and queens right throughout history. Henry VIII had apartments here. A lot of kings in history. We had a royal mint in Shrewsbury. You know, it's a royal town. It always has been. Fortunately, what lets it down is the corruption within that royal mint and royal town itself. So just watch my crown reading has gone out, and I'm going to go to light now, as that's crown chakra. So as that one wanted to fly out, we have this card. Now I have the woods up by me with this particular area, and we have the sword and the stone, but minus the stone. Instead we have a wise old owl sitting on the stone, the Avalonian stone, with the trees around from the woodland area and the moon in the background. And the meaning of this is, never be afraid to voice your own truth, as truth comes from a deep place within your soul. And that's basically what we are meant to do right now as people, as a collective, as we're all working together. Voice our truth. I've spent many years letting other people muse off me, and things got misinterpreted, lost in translation, completely wrong some days. But then other days it's very sweet and very light and loving energy, and yes, some things have been confirmed. So it's about not being afraid to be yourself and speak your truth. And Sword and Stone actually is covered in old pagan symbols, and in the background we have a deer. Now, my ladyship title and the coat of arms that comes with my ladyship title is actually a deer, a doe, a stag, sorry, there's a couple of stags on my ladyship title coat of arms. I do have a coat of arms. My Harrington family do have a coat of arms too. So that is connected to me as well. But it's about being wise owls at this time, you know. And the masculine, by the way, is in the background as represented by the stag. The feminine is the wise old owl. And it's all held above with the moonlight in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the night. So it's about being truth to yourself and your guidance and your inner guidance system, and voicing who you are, the new sides, the new facets of you. Voice who you are. Never be afraid of who you are. So I get nim away with this, and the card is have faith in yourself and your higher powers. They lead you through the dark times, even when you feel you've lost your guidance. So sometimes we do lose our own inner guidance system. I know when, you know, going through grieving and everything, I lost plenty of my inner guidance system, and I just sat and grieved and had to let it all out, transmute it, heal it, and then help heal others around me at the same time. And sometimes we can feel a little lost on the journey, especially through the difficult times. So this is saying, have faith in yourself as twin flame collective now within your twin flames. Excuse me. Have faith in your other half, in the other half of your soul. As you're both, you know, you've got to have faith in yourself and your higher being. And as these are Merlin cards, we have to trust in the faith of what we're creating. It wasn't just Sherwood Forest. My guys are saying it's not just Sherwood Forest in England. That is important history points when it comes to woodland areas. The area in which I live is hugely important and historic in terms of the Tudor buildings that were built in Shrewsbury. I live in the woodland area that, right next door to the wood. Well, this would have all been woodland area, but I live right by the woodland area that where the oak trees were taken and built the foundations and built some of the Tudor buildings we see in Shrewsbury today. We have one of the very original ones a few doors away from me that's actually in a conservation. It's in like a little gate around it and a little fencing, and it's one of the original oak trees from the 1400s, and its prominence in there, and we have lots of owls sitting in that tree, and ravens and crows, and I love sitting at night listening to the owls, you know, when everything's quiet and peaceful. I'll sit because I can see through, you know, through the back, the lines of the oak tree, and it's literally just at the back of my garden, a few doors down. So, you know, woodland areas are quite important, especially in terms of how they transported their round table. There was two. That many people didn't know that. There was the round table mainly held in one of the main castles, and then there was the second one they used to carry around in Battleground. I was given the image of it quite recently, actually, of where that battlement area is, and when Arthur passed through with his knights and would regularly stay here anyway in England, he would have the round table with him, and it would always be in the woodland areas, obviously, because it's predating houses. Now with the next card, so the importance in all of this is quite amazing when you see it all. when you piece it all together. So the next card is Arthur himself, the gallant knight on his white horse with his Excalibur, and it reads, on your soul's journey, you need to lose yourself so you can find yourself again. Follow your dreams. So, following on from the previous card, King Arthur loses himself frequently in the Shrewsbury woods and finds himself frequently in the Shrewsbury woods. That's what my guides showed me through a historic mediumship moment about King Arthur when he passed through Shrewsbury and with his little round table, which a friend and I were discussing. We think we know where that table was positioned, and that's an area that I've worked on in mediumship for quite a while now. So in terms of soul growth, yes, you can get lost sometimes, but it's easy to find yourself again. Just sit, focus, meditate, and you will find yourself again, and you will follow your dreams to meet your destination and your destiny. And that's something very strong my guides are giving me. And here's beauty herself, Guinevere. Now, I used to make flower crowns growing up. So I'm loving these readings. I'm loving the cards. They're very, very apt and very poignant for the types of readings I'm doing for many at the moment. So the last card in this section before we go on to the actual spirit flowers of the day, and that's where I'll close the reading, is love yourself for the courage you've shown to arrive at your best version today. So once you get to do all your healing from childhood, you transmute out all your childhood traumas, all your childhood conditioning, and you've gone on that journey of self-healing, and you find yourself a youthful, younger version of yourself, and it will show in your face when you've done your healing, when you've done your shadow work. You arrive at your best version of yourself, and that's the point in soul healing, soul growing, and soul advancing. My guides have said, pull one more card. You lot are going to like this one. So my guides are saying, go on, pull one more card. Basically, you do arrive at your best version of yourself once you're fully healed. And this is the point I'm at. I am fully healed. I am rocking up exactly as I am right now, saying, hello, I'm healed. I'm ready to carry on my journey. And it does give you that youthful feel of feeling young again. You know, our souls in terms of age are thousands of years old. If you do your little soul searching and you're meditating and you go back through your own soul's past lives, you'll find we're thousands of years old. So once you reach all that inner child wound healing and all the trauma bond healing and things like that, you get to be a newer, better version of yourself. And that's the part I'm at. I mean, I've never seen myself so confident. I've always suffered with stage fright. I always get butterflies before I used to go on stage and perform, you know, or sing up and down the country when I was younger. And I've always had that problem with stage fright, hence why many of my friends spent years trying to get me to perform live on stage in my mediumship, and I'd always chicken out. They'd book me to work on the theatre, you know, in terms of doing readings and that, and I'd chicken out and I'd go, no, just give me a pack of tarot cards, I'll go and sit round the back and do the private readings. And I used to do readings in Telford, local place close to us. You know, I used to go out with some mediumship friends as well that way. You know, I've spent a lifetime doing mediumship for other people as much as doing my own mediumship and guest mediumship. But you create that in your version. And then how I'm feeling right now, you know, I would stand on a stage and do mediumship, and a one stage mediumship lady I went to see recently turned around and said, why aren't you doing this on stage? You're a phenomenal medium, you should be doing this, and you are ready to do this. So I'm thinking about it, but the best version of me would be that confident person standing on that stage doing that mediumship on stage, and maybe I will. Who's to say I can't? I love the saying when someone says to me, and this is a life thing for me, when someone says I can't do something, I smile and I give them my best smile and I say, watch me. And I prove, and I do it every time. So perhaps it's time for me to do take on the best version of me and do stage mediumship. Maybe I will, but we'll see how things advance. So the last card in the Avalonian card range that I have here is Arthur leaping over the hills with a dog in tow, and he's leaping the hills and he's charging forward on the journey, on the mission as he goes through life. And that is what I get from that immediately. It's an evening, so he's on a night mission. As we know, knights would regularly go out on missions and challenges and tasks, sadly usually to take down some of the giants and the unicorns and the ogres. And for those that don't believe giants exist, I suggest you go research 1920s historic excavations of giants that were through Egypt, and you might find some answers of who helped to build the pyramids. We are not the only race that was on this planet, and a lot of history is buried underneath museums and churches. The truth, unicorns were real. You know, those fairy tales that everyone said, oh, it's just imaginary and a fairy tale. Well, that's the fable that isn't true. You know, the fable that is true. Let me get that right. Sorry, my brain's tired. The fable in itself is unicorns aren't real. Of course they're real. There is plenty of evidence to show, you know, in the times of King Arthur and their little journeys and the little missions they were sent on to prove themselves as great knights would be to take down a giant. You look through history, giants are right through history. There's the Giant's Causeway. There's been some rocks they recently found that was unearthed as the sea levels are changing. Some rocks they actually found with a giant footprint in about, I think it was about that big, giant footprint. So go through history if you don't believe that giants don't exist and fairies don't exist. And yes, I've seen a fairy or two in my life. I'm not crazy. I'm not cuckoo. You know, far from it. I've seen the truth and it's quite amazing. And the truth will go into synergy, like I said. So, as Arthur goes through his challenges and tasks and journeys of light, as it says in this last card, says, as light follows darkness, so day follows night. Be patient and wait for the right opportunity to create a new chapter in your life. So, in terms of the twin flame journey, it's not quite right with the timing yet. We're working on it, you know, the things still to be done. So, but in terms of creating a new chapter in life, keep working on the soul healing, keep working on healing oneself and working on yourself. I'm working on myself by putting my everything into my career right now. Something that, you know, after having children and all the sadness and trauma, you know, I'm putting my everything into my career and I'm loving every second of it. You know, I just wish I had more hours in the day right now to be able to focus on it a bit better, because I look after a lot of disability. So most of my day is taken up now in looking after individuals with difficulties and still helping to voice maternity scandal and disability and mental health scandals. But if I could, I would spend 100% of my time in my mediumship. It's the place I'm at my happiest, when I'm at my mediumship, when I'm doing my career. So, and my Reiki. So he's off on a challenge, which is exactly what my twin flame's doing right now. He's off on a challenge. He's doing what he needs to do best for him. And somewhere down the line, no doubt we'll meet. So, again, right now, you have a lot of abundant opportunities coming your way. And it's just about trusting your instincts, trusting the timing. So, and the card underneath is actually Excalibur. I can't help but not pull that one up, because I am Excalibur, like we joked. And, you know, many people in Shrewsbury have seen the art instalment that's currently in the dingle in town, you know, in the middle of the quarry. And it is of the Lady of the Lake holding up Excalibur. And it's an art installation that was created as the connection to King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table. And we do live in the royal town that's owned by the royal family anyway. So obviously the documents create a duty of service, which I gladly do. And then obviously from a deeper level, I see beyond that and a connection to a past life. So you be led by your own inner soul light. Healing and enlightenment are within. So once you've finished all your healing and all of that, you reach spiritual enlightenment and you get those aha moments like I had today in terms of another past life I've suddenly remembered. And the reason why I chose these cards was I was drawn to them and the connection to Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table in Shrewsbury. And it's incredible once you see it. I can't unsee it. And I've just gone, when I saw it today and was given an image of who I was in the past life, a queen in particular, my guides went, yeah, that's who you were. And I went, what? No, don't be silly. That little moment of self-doubt kicked in of, well, no, that can't be me. And then I got an image of something important, which I'm not going to say about yet. And I went, that makes sense now to why I do what I do. Guinevere, you know, Mother Naturely type person, and in this life she becomes Excalibur for the people. So that's the end of those cards for the moment. I'm going to pull a couple of cards and then I'm going to close the evening for the night. As I say, I wish I could do more readings right now, but I just don't get the moment right now to, you know, barely breathe myself because I'm looking after so many at the moment and helping so many. So, you know, when I'm not choosing to put myself in my bedroom to heal from inner wounds or write, you know, I throw myself into my writing when I'm healing and focusing. So when I'm not throwing myself into my writing, I'm actually, you know, quite enjoying what I'm doing. And I wish I could spend more time doing readings. And, you know, hopefully I can soon. But I'm going to pull one card of Flower of the Day in terms of what spirit wish, you know, what spirit flower would like to be sent to you for the day, because spirits can leave you flowers. Okay, we'll go with that one. Foxglove, confidence. Be what you want to see. So be the change you wish to see. We are the changes we wish to see. We lead by example. So Spirit are leaving you the foxglove of confidence. Is it confidence? Yes, confidence. And be the changes you wish to see. So you want change on the planet, you got to be it. Which is what I'm doing. And I don't look back, and I love every second of it. And in hindsight, all the pain and suffering I went through, once I flipped it on its head and looked at it from another angle, went, aha. So if we've got these problems, we can create solutions. And who trained to create some of those solutions. So I love who I am. I wouldn't change who I am for the world. So that is the ending card for the day. Keep healing those inner childhood wounds so that you're not narcissistically taking it out on others. Because sometimes unhealed wounds can create trauma, and obviously then through lack of healing, you know, previously you end up taking it out on others. So try not to do that. Try to work on your inner healing within yourself. These are guidelines, remember, and advice from the spirit realm, and you know, you can take it or leave it. You know, you can either follow the advice and carry on your own stubborn journey, or you can listen to a different perspective that gives an open-minded, honest perspective. And that's all these cards are designed to do, is help many along the spiritual journey of healing. So sending all my love, and I shall send out some more readings tomorrow. Love you all. Thank you.